what are thoughts in the room on that question? How do you guys feel about that? When you know you're competing against someone and you've got kind of a feel for who that might be or what they might be about or how they're different and what have you, how do you handle that? Mm-hmm.
Anytime I've ever tried to do anything that's sort of like directly, I don't know the word that you use, Justin, but kind of like to, I guess, attack them. I don't know. I think it's a poor choice of words, but like to bring them down in order to bring yourself up. I found that they will typically do that to themselves in a way, and like what I've always done is think like know more about them so that I can pull out the stops that they're not going to. So like think about what's something they're not going to think about that I can, and use that to make me different. I don't know how to elaborate on that.
Know your opponent.
Right, yeah, and that's exactly, you know, when the whole, you know, who else is competing for their attention or competing for the job or what have you. It's kind of like a lot of my background is in marketing, and you think, you know what, the earlier you can get into a sale or what have you, the more you can spec out what the customer's looking for, you know, and you can say, okay, you know what, whoever you go with, you really, I would recommend that you got this and this and this, and that they bring this, and that just happens to be all the things that you bring to the table, and that you kind of know that somebody else doesn't bring to the table, or what have you. So I think that's one way that you can do it, or just, you know, having that confidence in the fact that you're the right candidate, and you know, and being able to show that.
Play up your strengths on being a hand.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and how does that feel to people? You know, with play up your strengths. See, that can kind of feel icky sometimes, and I'm using the word icky. It's not the most. It's not industry jargon or executive level vocabulary, but you know, sometimes it's like, oh, you know, that doesn't feel good to be playing up my strengths, talking about how great I am or what have you. Did anybody feel that way? Yeah.
Are you the only one?
But it is one of those things that you. They know nothing about you, and you could make a phenomenal impact on their company or their research or their this or their that, and you're the educator. You know what I mean? I mean, they're never going to know it. They don't have time to figure it out for themselves. You need to educate them. And if you don't, you're doing a disservice to them and to you. You know, it's not about puffing yourself up and talking about how great you are. It's just saying, okay, they know nothing about me or what I can do for them. And educate them on that. And boy, won't they be lucky when I work for them. You know, and just, you know, not feel like it's this self-serving. If somebody said something about being selfish or self-serving or what have you, but, you know, when you get to a place where you're saying, okay, this is what I love to do, and I know I'm really good at it, and I can make a positive impact on this person or this effort or this organization or this world or what have you, then it's not self-serving to make that happen. You know, I mean, it's in everybody's best interest to make that happen.
These are the things I know how to do, and I'm good at, and I want to do these things for you and your company.
Right.
But you're willing to give me the opportunity to show you how well I can perform these specific tasks.
Right. And if you don't communicate that, maybe you're being selfish. You know, they're never going to benefit from what you've got to offer.
Like I said,
Right.
I'm a little older than some of the people in here, so I've had
Yeah.
a chance to kind of be out there. That you're kind of being like a used car salesman. And you are selling yourself, literally, but you got to be very smooth about it. You know, at the same time, you know, not come up and not come off as arrogant or, you know, hey, look at me, I'm all, you know.
Right. Yeah.
While getting the point across.
Right. Yeah. Be authentic and be a
Sincere.
yeah, and a problem solver. You know, and it goes back to what you were saying on, do I just talk about all the great things about me, or do I learn about them? And that's, you guys are like working for me here. And that's about your unique value, and so that's the other thing, is knowing and continually learning about your unique value. Is if you're in there getting to know what someone needs, what their huge challenge is, what their pain is, what their goals are that they're not going to be able to get to without somebody great like you or what have you, then you're not necessarily self-promoting, you're problem solving. I mean, you're helping them find a solution, and it's great for you that solution is you, but it's still a solution for them. And so, it's not this, this is just all for the benefit of me kind of thing. You've got something to offer, and your people aren't going to need it.
Yeah.
So let's connect those two things. Yeah. So other things on your unique value, really not just understanding I'm passionate about X and I'm really good at X, but what is the need you address? So when you think about, okay, this is what I want to be doing 3 years down the road, that all sounds good, and you should be very, very focused on getting there and really having a vision of where you want to be. But the more you understand what need that's going to satisfy, the more likely you are to get there. So being able to say, okay, what need am I addressing? What pain am I relieving for somebody? What challenge am I going to help this company overcome? What have you? How am I going to make this manager in front of me's life easier? Because boy, he seems frustrated. And kind of looking at it from that solution perspective, and the more you understand that need that you're going to fill, the less you're going to feel like it's self-serving, because the less it is self-serving, because you're really kind of putting yourself in the place of the solution.
Mm-hmm.